If you're over 35 and feeling like a shell of your former self, brain fog, zero libido, and muscle mass that just seems to be vanishing no matter how much protein you eat, how much resistance training you do, there's probably a hormone that you have not talked to your doctor about, but is so critically important. And it's not just for men. And this hormone is testosterone. Today, I want to pull back the curtain on the forgotten female hormone. We think of this as a male hormone, but I want to explain why the medical establishment is still hesitant to prescribe it, the clinical data around it in 2026, and the benefits of why you might want to consider it for your hormone replacement therapy. And lastly, how do you go to your doctor to advocate for yourself to get the care that you actually deserve? I'm Dr. Jennifer Rollins. Thanks for joining me on my channel about midlife health. And I want to dive into this topic because it's so critically important. Most women do not realize that we actually have more testosterone in our bodies than estrogen. Yes, we do. Before menopause, you have more testosterone than estrogen per milliliter. It's the hormone of vitality. It drives your motivation, your cognitive sharpness, your physical strength. That's why we call it vitality hormone. But here's the problem. When you go through perimenopause and menopause, estrogen and progesterone fall kind of, very predictably, but testosterone can actually fall in a very sort of linear fashion starting as early as your 30s. I've tried and I've given women in their 30s even testosterone because they've been having low levels. So by the time you get to 50, you're really empty. The result is you're being told you're being old, but you might actually just have a testosterone that's low. So if you go to your general practitioner for help, sometimes you're often met with, it's not FDA approved, or you're going to grow a beard, or I just don't feel comfortable prescribing. So let's debunk some of those myths first. Myth number one, testosterone will make you grow a beard or become manly. And this is the number one fear I hear from patients as well as providers. Here's the reality. Masculinization, like a deepening of voice or extra hair growth, only happens with testosterone levels that are high. So, which is roughly about 10 to 20 times higher than women actually need. So in the male ranges are at least 10 to 20 times higher. In 2026, we practice physiological replacement. We check your blood to understand where are the levels we want to get to, and we check as you're on testosterone to make sure you're appropriately treated. We don't want to make you a bodybuilder. We're not trying to return the levels that you were when you were 18 years old. We're not trying to give you hair growth. It's actually really the most common side effect I hear from patients is, oh my God, my brain is back. My muscle, I see it on my arms. This is amazing. So keeping adequate levels is important. Number two, testosterone causes heart disease. For decades, we were told testosterone causes heart problems. And really, the latest data shows the exact opposite. Testosterone is actually cardioprotective for women. And we can use some of this data based upon the male studies as well. It improves lean muscle mass, insulin sensitivity, both of which are fantastic for the heart. Heart disease is the number one killer of postmenopausal women. So optimizing your testosterone may be a key part of your health, not against it. And much of these guidelines are still being worked out for what is the cardiovascular protection for women as well. Myth number three, testosterone if you need it for your sex drive. You could change, this drives me crazy because there are many reasons for low libido or low sex drive. And yes, testosterone is amazing. It helps with libido. It's a wonderful option, but it also helps with your bones and your muscle to prevent osteoporosis. It also helps with your brain to prevent cognitive decline. It's so important for so many parts of your body, even your mood. If you're struggling with that kind of like, meh feeling and not really depression, but just feel kind of in the funk, it helps you with your zest for life. And so it's really important that people stop pigeoning it into a hormone just for sex because it has so many more applications. The last myth I want to cover is people say, well, it causes liver damage or hair loss. And that's true. There are hair loss options. I mean, you can lose hair if it's too high, or testosterone is replaced with too high. But in 2026, we use personalized medicine. So we actually use topical creams, gels, sometimes pellets that are specifically meant for you and your biology. These can be bypassing the liver Also, for hair loss, you have to make sure you're in adequate ranges. Too low will cause hair loss. If you look at women who are not on HRT, they can tell you that. Too high will also cause hair loss. So it's important that you find the right dosing and that you're in that range and you're being monitored from a blood work perspective. Testosterone can be used for so many more things. So what are the benefits? If you're saying it's used for other things, what is the guidelines? What are the consensus about this? So in 2019, there was a global consensus position that was for multiple organizations worldwide that got together and said, what do we use for testosterone for? And it was essentially proposed that HSDD, or hypoactive sexual desire disorder, it was useful for women who have HSDD, which is basically 6 months worth of lack of desire and arousal. But from the clinical trials that have been done, even the Women's Health Initiative, there is information that shows that it can actually help with cognitive clarity, which physiological levels can actually improve your verbal memory and your focus. Metabolic health, it's a key player in metabolism. When we lose muscle, we lose our metabolic ability to burn fat. So it can help you with building muscle, which is your best fat burner. And third, it actually helps for the zest, this sort of vitality, this feeling of yourself again. So if it's so great, why do doctors say no? So 2 reasons really: fear and formulation. Fear is that many doctors still worry about masculization. They're worried that women will get hair growth. But if you dose it correctly at about 1/10 of a male dose, you're not going to get voice deepening. You're not going to get crazy hair growth. You're not going to get those side effects. It needs to be dosed appropriately. Second is formulation. There is no FDA-approved testosterone for females. So this means a doctor has to learn how to prescribe it off-label, which means they either use a male product like androgel or Testosterone and dose it about 1/10 of what you would for a male, or you write a script to a compounding pharmacy where you learn to write a specific dose for that patient. And many are not trained to do so safely. So if you're considering testosterone, you're going to need to know how to talk to your doctor, how to walk in there prepared. So I actually made a cheat sheet on 5 questions to ask your doctor, and I will put the link in the bottom of this video in the comments if you're interested in taking that. I want you to be armed with the right information and make sure that you know if your doctor can prescribe it for sure. So in there, I'll talk about what labs you should ask for, what are the guidelines, so how should it be dosed, and how should it be appropriately managed. And you can ask your provider those questions to make sure they can safely and adequately understand the information to dose you. I also think it's really important when you're asking these questions that when you call the office specifically, ask if they do even prescribe it. Because if they don't even prescribe it, don't waste your time to make an appointment. Make sure you have a provider who is knowledgeable. So testosterone isn't a magic bullet for some women. It's just a missing piece of the hormone puzzle. It's part of hormone replacement therapy. So I want to make sure you don't get stuck behind this 1950s medical bias that says that testosterone is not for females and we don't need it. So that's why I put together that guide. If this video helped you, please like and subscribe. Please share it with your friends. I'm on a mission to change the way midlife health is handled in 2026, and it's really important to me that I provide topics that you're interested in. So I'm talking about testosterone in this video. I have a more comprehensive video called Doctor's Guide to Hormone Replacement Therapy, and you can check that out at the end of this video, and it goes over all 3 sex hormones and how I prescribe and how I look at it specifically. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.